All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Me here, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a couple of real people out there, just like you and just like me. So, I'm going to be talking about how this one guy who just passed away is getting a tribute concert, and this other guy who passed away a while ago, he's still not getting a tribute concert. Now, some would argue that this summer, there's something that's going to represent that to some degree. However, it's different, and I'll get to that in a second here. Before I get there, though, this is something I've showcased a couple of times: the Almond Bets band. Almond Bets, what's that? Well, these are the next generation of the original Almond Brothers band. You've got Devin Allman, and it gets a little tricky and confusing because you've got Dwayne Betts, okay, not Dwayne Allman, but you've got Dwayne Betts and Devin Allman, and they put this out like 3 years ago. So this has been out for a while. So it's kind of an old release, and unfortunately, I don't know if anyone got around to hearing it the first time. So I'm just showcasing it. It's kind of old, and a lot of people don't know about it. So it's kind of like me. So check it out. I will maybe put a link in the video if there is a product that you can order. What I've noticed is a lot of CDs, just nobody sells them. So if you promote something and you want to actually have it so people can buy it for themselves, there's no link to do that. So anyway, folks, let me get back to the original topic here before I lose my train of thought again. So I'm reading this story. Jimmy Buffett concert coming April 11th. It will be honoring the late, great Jimmy Buffett. Now, do I agree there should be a concert for Jimmy? Absolutely. 100%. I am on board with a Jimmy Buffett tribute concert. Amen to that. Performances by Paul McCartney. What? All right, the Eagles. All right, so you got Paul McCartney and the Eagles. John Bon Jovi, who has new vocal cords, so he's going to try him out. Sheryl Crow, Jackson Browne, and many more, including Eric Church, Brandi Carlile, Jack Johnson, Pitbull. Okay. Jake Owen, Kenny Chesney, Zach Brown, and of course, Buffett's own Coral Reefer Band. So tickets will be available on March 15th. What's that ticket going to cost? Keep the Party Going, a tribute to Jimmy Buffett. One night only at the Hollywood Bowl on April 11th. And yes, all of the aforementioned people will be there, including Paul McCartney and the Eagles. Holy crap, Batman. Now that's a tribute concert. Now, Eddie Van Halen has been gone for quite some time. He has yet to have a tribute concert in his honor. All of the guitar players who were influenced by Eddie Van Halen, and they can't organize a tribute concert. Now, I get it. This summer, you got Sammy Hagar going out on the road with Joe Satriani, who is going to try to do his best Eddie Van Halen imitation. That really isn't a tribute. What it's going to be is what's left of Van Halen going out there with Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar, and I think Jason Bonham playing drums, right? And Joe Satriani. So I'm sure it'll be a great time, but it's not billed as a tribute to Eddie Van Halen. They still haven't pulled that together yet. That'll probably be as close as you're going to get. See, a tribute concert would be all of these different people coming together to just play all this great music that you used to hear, but do it their way, like Paul McCartney doing a Jimmy Buffett song. The Eagles, who botched a Jimmy Buffett song because they had Joe Walsh trying to sing it, which was an epic failure. Tim Schmidt, okay. Joe Walsh, not so much. That's the way I look at that. If Glenn Frey were still here, I would have put Glenn on that since he worked with the Monster Tones at one time, and Jimmy and Glenn had that connection. So anyway, Do I think this is fair and good and just and right? No. Do I think there should be a Jimmy Buffett tribute? Yes. What could the rationale, like the reasoning, why Eddie hasn't had a tribute, but yet Jimmy out of the box hasn't been gone all that long getting a tribute? I think, honestly, culturally, Jimmy Buffett may have affected more people. Margaritaville, hello, the restaurant in Fort Myers just opened, and you would have thought that NASA was doing a moon launch from location there. Just it's like, and does it deserve that much attention? Maybe, I mean, there was a hurricane down there about a year and a half ago, wiped the entire beach out except for that new construction, which is amazing that all survived. But it shows you the power of the margarita, or at least the Margaritaville. Eddie probably wasn't the most likable guy. That's one thing I keep going back to when you read things about Eddie Van Halen. There were people who admired his talent, but he was one of these kids who didn't have to study and he got great grades. And even David Lee Roth says, or has said, that Eddie wasn't culturally very literate, or he just wasn't interested in things that David Lee Roth and many other people may have been interested in. Look, it doesn't diminish Eddie's talent. Eddie was a super talent, and Jimmy Buffett ends up being a fairly talented guy, but almost like he was a better entrepreneur. He knew how to market himself. He endeared himself to people who are just into lying around on the beach and drinking margaritas all day. And that's kind of a cool thing in a way. And it's a different vibe than the guy who reinvented how to play guitar, which to me is just true and sad that more guitar players didn't get together and say, hey, maybe we didn't really like Eddie as a person all that much, but he deserves a tribute. People need to remember this guy and his contributions. So is it ever going to happen? I don't know. I mean, his son really should have spearheaded the entire thing, but he complained that, Roth wasn't in with it or Sammy wasn't in with it. And the Van Halen camp, he was in the band. Okay. Wolfie was in the band. He wasn't just like an outsider complaining. No, he could have said, look, I'm his son. Let's do something. These are the people I want to be there. If he didn't want to participate more than maybe one song or something, he could have just organized it and people would have shown up for that. But it's still not officially happening. The Sammy Hagar summer tour is as close as you're going to get. And maybe that will provide closure for fans, but this is completely different. You've got all these different bands coming together to honor one of the world's nicer, friendlier, happier guys. And I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, Jimmy Buffett just brought a party with him wherever he went. And Eddie Van Halen, just a different character, a different style of music. And for a lot of people, maybe not that relatable, and kind of a recluse at times. Everything in the Van Halen world always close to the vest, whereas Jimmy Buffett would market, anything with Margaritaville written on it, he would put it out there, and people would buy it. And he's a good businessman. So again, a different character who certainly has endeared himself to a whole bunch of people who want to pay tribute to him. And is that something I would go see? Yeah, probably not. I mean, maybe I would. Paul McCartney doing Jimmy Buffett songs? That's going to be interesting, especially the way Paul is sounding these days. Same with the Eagles. Hopefully they'll work out something where someone can actually sing a Jimmy Buffett song correctly. Any number of country people can come in there and just blow the roof off the place, and that's who they ought to have there. I'm surprised Alan Jackson hasn't signed on, but he's had some health issues. You do have Zach Brown. And again, it will be a party. So if you want to, buy your tickets, get them as soon as they go on sale. I think it listed here April 11th is the concert. I'm not sure when tickets are going on sale. I thought they talked about that. Of course, they do a lot of cut and paste journalism. Okay, tickets available on March the 15th. So go grab your tickets. The Hollywood Bowl, and book your airplane, book everything, spend it all. Otherwise, the kids are going to get the money. You know what I'm saying? All right. Before I go, what money? By the way, if you could support my channel, I'm not expecting to retire. I'm just going to keep doing this for another 20 or 30 years. Allman Betts Band, not to be confused with Allman Brothers Band. This is the next generation of this kind of music. It's called Bless Your Heart. Check it out. It's available. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless everyone. Please pray for peace here in the Middle East, around the world, and in your own life. Okay? Peace is something that is very elusive and hard to get these days. I think Jimmy Buffett, he was kind of a peaceful guy. And, that's why people miss him so much, because that kind of music just puts you in a better mood most of the time. See you soon.